afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 3, Episode 3, Winter Field Day 2025 Preview. Hope everyone is doing well. Cooley, welcome. And Mike, welcome. Winter Field Day Association. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Got a lot of questions recently about Winter Field Day, so that's why I decided to go ahead and talk about that today. Had a number of things come up about this and had a lot of people like, what is it? What's all entailed? So, Gary, welcome. Good afternoon. So I decided let's go ahead and do a show this afternoon about that. So, first of all, I'm going to cover basically, I'm going to go out to the Facebook group or the Facebook page and then the Twitter, and then we're going to go out to the website here. So, all right, let's go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, now this is the Facebook group. It's called Winter Field Day, and one of the things I think you want to know right off the bat, there's a lot of local clubs that are involved with Winter Field Day. So this is a great source and a great place if you're interested in participating and seeing if your local club is doing this. And you can see right here, there's a number of different clubs right here that are participating in it. It tells you a lot of great information about that. So that's something you definitely want to bookmark this. You definitely want to join this group if you're looking to go ahead and be involved with Winter Field Day. I think this is a great resource right here, and it's a great page, and it's well run. So, Mike, please pass that on. You guys do a great job with this. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now, the other thing is there is an account out on X or Twitter. And let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick here. And I'm sorry for getting on late. I had some had to move a car for my wife so she could get out. She's going to a HOA meeting tonight at the place where we live. Again, this is a great resource as well too. You can take a look and see there's a lot of great information here, some videos that are posted with this right here. And it's something I would encourage you to definitely, if you're on X, to go ahead and follow them. These are great sources of information. I can definitely say that. So, Andy, welcome. Cooley, welcome. Gary, welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you guys for stopping by. Really appreciate that. So, okay. We're going to get to talking about Winter Field Day now. And one of the things, obviously, where I live, we still do Winter Field Day down here, but the objective is, well, let me go ahead. We're going to go ahead and open up the screen here. So hang on just a second. Okay. Winter Field Day. What is Winter Field Day? I'm going to start out with what is Winter Field Day. Then we're going to go back and look at the history and how Winter Field Day got started and take a look at some of the rules and what some of the resources are. What is Winter Field Day? Winter Field Day is an exciting annual event for amateur radio enthusiasts taking place on the last full weekend of January. It offers a unique opportunity for radio operators to set up field operations in remote locations, enabling them to connect with other participants worldwide. You may choose to participate solo or get your friends, family, or whole club involved. Winter Field Day is organized by the Winter Field Day Association. The association strongly believes that ham radio operators should practice portable emergency communications in winter environments. This is because freezing temperatures, snow, ice, and other hazards pose unique operational concerns. The Winter Field Day event aims to help participants improve their preparedness for disasters and enhances their operational abilities in adverse conditions. Amateur radio operators have the freedom to use frequencies on HF, VHF, or UHF bands while employing voice, CW, and digital transmissions. The event designates specific objectives to encourage a diverse range of activities, including the use of non-commercial power sources, the deployment of multiple antennas, establishing satellite contacts, and more. Click here to read more about the history and purpose of Winter Field Day. And then we're going to go, that's exactly what we're going to take a look at right now is looking at the history of Winter Field Day, and I think it's important that we cover this here because I think a lot of people, they hear Winter Field Day and all they think of, oh well, this is for, you know, this is for certain people. This isn't for me. They don't really know a whole lot about this, and I think if you understand the history behind this and the purpose of this, it will encourage you to participate in this as well here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the history. In June of 2006, Charles asked if SPAR, Society for the Preservation of Amateur Radio, would be interested in sponsoring a Winter Field Day activity. Discussions, proposed rules, and modifications followed. In September, SPAR's board of directors voted to approve sponsoring a Winter Field Day. Next came a flurry of activities to get the word out. The first Winter Field Day was held just 4 months later on January 13, 14, 2007. Based on comments from participants, Winter Field Day soon will become an annual event. I'm going to touch on some of these things here. There was a delay because of health issues and the aging members of SPAR's board of directors. There was a delay in scoring and releasing the 2015 WFD results. Members who participated in WFD over the last 9 years were upset with no official response from SPAR. Rumors spread and some feared the WFD might fade away. Stepping up to the challenge of keeping WFD alive, a small group of WFD enthusiasts banded together and formed the Winter Field Day Association. Okay. In late 2015, the remaining SPAR board members handed over the reins and responsibility of Winter Field Day to the Winter Field Day Association, who scored the 2015 entries and have been promoting the event ever since. A WFD committee was formed to oversee the rules and manage the event. Subtle changes to the rules have been made as needed, but the event's purpose has remained the same. Through the hard work and dedication of Tom, Dave, Eric, and Ken, and Bill, Winter Field Day continued to grow and thrive. For many who participated in Winter Field Day over the years, it's no longer just an event, but an annual tradition. In 2022, the Winter Field Day Association processed over 2,500 logs from stations around the world. And once again, the reins of Winter Field Day were passed to a new board of directors. And then we're excited to partner with volunteers and sponsors from all over the United States who now work together to support Winter Field Day. Through the association's leadership has changed over the years. At its core, WFDA remains the same. Natural disasters are unpredictable, can strike when you least expect them. Your training and operational skills should not be limited to fair weather scenarios. Preparedness is the key to a professional and timely response during any event. We passionately believe that ham radio operators should practice portable emergency communications in winter environments as the potential for freezing temperatures, snow, ice, and other hazards present unique operational concerns, okay? If you're serious about emergency communications as we are, we welcome you to join us during our yearly event here, okay? And you can see there's Tom, Dave, Ken, Eric, and Bill. They're the original members. Here are the current board members: Marvin, Melinda, James, Jason, who you probably should very well know Jason, Mikkel, and Andrew right here. So just to kind of give you a background, Perpan Paul, welcome. Thanks for stopping by today. It's just I wanted to go over this because I wanted to give you some background and idea of this as well. But I want to take a small break here. You guys probably know Julian, and you've probably seen him. He's over in the Nordic country. He's an expat that lives over there, and he practices this very well. He's one of the better known ones that does this. I think he begins with OH8 as his call sign. He does a fantastic job of this. If you haven't followed his channel on YouTube or follow him on Twitter, I would highly encourage you to do so. So we're going to take a look right now, and one of the things is, there are rules for Winter Field Day, okay? The purpose, of course, with Winter Field Day is to practice our skills in unfavorable weather. Safety must remain our top priority, okay? And I think that's so important here. Now, for us, I don't have really technically a winter type of environment down here, but, we do face a lot of natural disasters living in the state of Florida. And obviously, I do visit Ohio every now and then. And, being prepared for be able to handle emergencies in any type of environment, I think is a key here. And I think that is probably one of the main purposes behind Winter Field Day. And it's always good to get together with fellow hams and work out solutions to problems like this. So notable changes for Winter Field Day 2025. Event times have changed and the event has been extended beyond 24 hours. Locations do not have to remain fixed during the entire event. Objectives, previously called bonuses, are now multipliers. Several objectives have been added. And you can see right here, objective WFD is a multi-objective event. Primary objective is to set up an amateur radio field station and successfully take multiple contacts. Successful participants are those who can set up their equipment and correctly log the designated exchange during the operational period explained below. All participants are encouraged to complete as many additional objectives as possible after the event. Submit a log of stations worked and any additional documentation. And I think it's important here that I want to get this across. This isn't just for clubs. You can do this on an individual basis. You can do this from your home as well too. But just, there are some rules right here, and that's what I want to go over. But I want to make sure it's clear. And Mike, thank you for being here, and please, feel free to add any input if you would like to this as well. I'd be welcome your input here. But I want to make sure that if you're at home, you can do this as well at home as well as with the club. So don't think because you may not have a club in your area, or the weather may be really bad enough, you can still do this out of your home. And I think one of the primary objectives with that is you want to use alternate power sources besides obviously some batteries here. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more of the details here. Designated winter field day exchange includes your call sign, category number, class identifier, location identifier. Category number designated by the number of transceivers at your location are capable of transmitting simultaneously. Class, you must choose which class you will operate in. If you're operating as a group under one call sign, choose a class that applies to the majority of the stations at your field day site. Class options: H for home station, I for indoor station. And an indoor station defines any station operating from home, but from inside an insulated, weather-protected building. Okay. Outdoor station, obviously, outdoor stations operate from a partially or fully exposed building or shelter. Does not typically have plumbing, HVAC type of thing. Mobile stationary stations are defined as operations from a mobile or potentially mobile structure like an RV, car, van, sailboat, cargo trailer, mobile, EOC, etc. These are operating positions, may offer some sort of built-in heating, cooling. Mobile stations do not have to be mobile during the event. Okay. Location identifier: U.S. and Canadian stations will use the ARRL RAC section as designated by these organizations. Mexico stations will use MX, and all their stations outside of the U.S. will use DX. Okay. Additional information: the goal is to accurately copy and record the full exchange. Your category, class, and location identifiers must remain the same throughout the whole event. If your location changes sections during the event, such as long-haul trucker, your section is the first section you made a contact from. For example, if you're operating with two people using two transmitters from an RV in Arizona, your exchange would be 2M Arizona here, okay? Bands: all amateur bands may be used except 12, 17, 30, and 60 meters. To qualify as a band work, at least one valid two-way QSO must have taken place on the said band during the event, all right? Modes: all modes, CW, phone, and digital may be used. Phone includes SSB, AM, FM, DMR, C4 FM, etc. If the end result is voice, it's phone. Digital includes PSK, RTTY, Olivia, Packet, SSTV, ATV, JSA call, and other sound card modes except for FT4 and FT8. If the end result is a text or picture, it's digital. QSO points: phone contacts count as 1 point each, and all CW digital modes count as 2 points each. You may only contact other field day stations as a maximum of 3 times per band, but only once per mode. So K4 Fun may be contacted on 20 meters using phone, CW, and digital for a total of 5 points. Okay. Objectives and multipliers. More than points, achieving objectives should be your primary goal during the winter field day. Operate on 100% alternative power, and this is important here. Operate exclusively on alternative power, defined as any power source not connected to the commercial power grid. You may use generators, batteries, solar power, wind power, anything else. All batteries, whether in use or charging, should only be charged using alternative power. WFT stations should run all station equipment, accessories, or heaters from an alternate power source. Logging only computers or lights are the exception, and they may be connected to the power grid or any power source available. If you use a laptop for digital modes, it should not be connected to the power grid, but must be plugged into an alternative power source. And I think this is important here. Wow, ETB. Wow, that's wow. Okay, wow. Yeah, that's a little too chilly for me. And I think it's important here to stop and to understand. Some of the thinking behind Winter Field Day is using alternative powers, because in emergency situations you're going to need to do that. So you're going to need to use your batteries. You're going to need to use solar. You're going to need you need to be very creative in terms of this. Anything that's not really kind of connected to the grid here. Do you have the ability to walk into any shelter, parking garage, hospital, or community center and set up a portable amateur radio station? Now's the time to start planning what you would do if your home location is destroyed during an emergency. For this objective, set up your field station more than a half mile from your home, okay? Deploy multiple antennas. Deploy 2 or more antennas that have not been previously installed. Pre-installed antennas are defined, obviously. Any antenna attached to anything could be used day to day. Includes home antennas, antennas installed on vehicles, cargo trailers, and RVs. All right. Pre-installed antennas do not count. You must deploy field antennas. And that's one thing. The Chameleon MPass 2.0 is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, any POTA. Yeah, I would say, Jeff. Yeah, that's 100% correct. 100% there. Um, so pre-install multi-band antennas do not count as a separate antenna. Okay, so that's why I use my Chameleon MPass 2.0 a lot. I have gotten very versatile in getting that set up in a very short amount of time and out on the air, and that includes just getting everything together and running the coax in and getting it hooked up. So make an FM satellite contact, make an SSB or CW satellite contact. Send and receive at least one WinLink email, copy the Winter Field Day special bulletin, operate on at least 6 different bands. You should be able to accomplish the objective by utilizing HF, VHF, and UHF frequencies. Don't forget about 1.25 meters. It's an excellent band for local emergencies. Okay. Use multiple modes. Okay. Operate the event QRP. Okay. That's using less than 10 watts. So I would encourage you on something like this, use 10 watts. Don't go to 5 watts. You're not, a lot of times this time of year, conditions are not favorable for QRP. So I would encourage you to do 10 watts or something like that. Operate 6 continuous hours during the event. Emergencies may last days or even weeks. If you're operating alone or in shifts, you may be expected to man a radio station between 4 to 12 hours. Are you able to sit and operate for extended periods of time with enough backup power? This does not necessarily mean you're making contacts the whole time, but you're in front of the radio monitoring and ready to pick up a microphone if you're called to. When you submit your log, we ask you select your completed objectives. You can see right here, miscellaneous statements. All stations are limited to a maximum of 100 watts PEP. All rules governing amateur radio at your location must be observed throughout the event. All participants submitting a single entry must be using one call sign. Entrants may not count for QSO credits. Any contact with anyone who has participated in their WFD operation or is present at their WFD location. During the event, spotting clusters, the RBN, APS, and WinLink will may be used as long as the originating transmission is sent out via RF. QSOs may only be solicited during the event only over RF. Crossband contacts are not permitted. Satellite QSOs crossband contacts are exempted. No repeater contacts are allowed, including DMR or YSF type nodes that may be transmitted through a repeater or hotspot on the receiving end. Mobile transmitters are not allowed to operate on the same band at the same time. Any mode used must be able to fully transmit the exchange intact and must be able to pass additional information. Okay. Certificates and log submissions are here. Appendix. There's a formatting example, and then the main body of the log is down here as well. I want to go ahead and look at some resources here. Logging programs, and they recommend several logging programs right here. Operating aids, ARL section list, section map, CQ zones, IARU regions, ITU zones, and US call areas. And there's several downloads here. There's a custom flyer for this year, so you can use that. Location map instructions. Here's an FAQ, which is really good. Winter Field Day in the news, and some of these articles are a little old, but they're still out there as well, and I think that's good. Here's a newsletter. You can sign up to receive that, and then of course, if you want to get swag, they have an opportunity for you to be able to do that. Yeah, Brian. One of the things WinLink has to, and Mike, that's good. Thank you for posting that. WinLink has to leave your WFD station via RF, but you can send to and receive from any WinLink or commercial email to get credit for the multiplier. Thank you, Mike, for clarification on that. I appreciate that, and thank you so much. I appreciate your stopping by today. That was very good. I had one of these days. Normally, I like to set up for this well in advance, but I didn't have that chance to until today. But I do want to thank you for that. So those are some of the resources here, and where we're going with this. And um, yeah, okay. Anyway, here. That was some great information here. And like I said, they have a fantastic website. I really like what they have done with that. I think they do a good job. So I think one of the things is you want to make sure to get out there, bookmark this website, get out on their Facebook group, become a member of that, and follow them on X as well too. And that's coming up again. That's on the 24th 25th of the month. Well, let me double check here. Or yeah, 24, 20, 20, 25th, 26. Okay, 24, 25. 25, 26. That's the last weekend of January officially, because the next weekend is February. So yeah, that's one thing you want to take note of as well too. And it's important to note here with this is, one of the things you need to be well versed in this. And I think most ham radio operators, those of you, if you follow me and you know me, and I know some of you guys, Jeff and Andy, and some of the other ones in Cooley, I started out. The whole reason I started out with amateur radio is when I moved to Florida, I wanted the ability to be able to communicate in the event of a hurricane, and I found out really the only way to do that is through amateur radio. So that's what got me started, got me interested, and I love it. It's one of my favorite hobbies. Absolutely enjoy this hobby a lot, and a lot of great guys here. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by today. If you have any questions, get with Mike, and get with them at Winter Field Day. They'll be sure to be able to answer that. I know Jason had a stream, I think it was yesterday, on this. So Ham Radio 2.0, Jason. So definitely get out there and do that. Now, I haven't had any experience. I haven't participated in Winter Field Day. Obviously, I'm down here in Florida. I can still do that and follow these rules, but and actually it is a little bit on the chilly side for us down here in Florida. It's been in the 40s, 50s. It's not been typical Florida weather. I'm thinking of suing Florida for breach of contract when I moved down here. So yes. Hammer Radio Crash Course had a good stream by Winter Field Day digital modes recently. Mike, thank you for posting that. That's real good. Very good, Jeff. Thank you for posting that. That's a good point. Thank you for sharing that. So, there's a lot of great information out there on their website. Mike, you guys do a fantastic job. You really keep things up to date, well informed. It's very clear on how to operate. Go to Josh to Ham Radio Crash Course to see latest video on that for Mike. Also go out to Jason, Ham Radio 2.0. I know they had a live stream the other day regarding Winter Field Day as well. And if you're able to and can do so, participate in it. I think it's a good exercise. I think it's good for us as ham radio operators and amateur radio enthusiasts to know how to do things in the outside normal operating procedures. Okay, we're also used to being connected to the grid and having power off the grid, but this really puts us to a good test. And I think it's fantastic you do that. One of the things for me is on a monthly basis, I have a number of series of BioNO batteries. I have, and you see, I also have some other batteries as well too. And on a monthly basis, I get out there and I check the batteries, and then I make sure that they're charged and ready to go. And I think it's really important to do that. Very good point, Jeff. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's really important that you guys know how to do all this. And I know most of you know how to do this. It's really kind of like uh, the rubber meets the road right here with this. It really gets you going, and I think it's important, and I think it's a great way to start the year off in terms of ham radio. I mean, it's even before Hamcation coming up next month. So, if you're able to participate in this, it's something I encourage you to do so. Um, you can do it solo, but I think it's great with a club. It's always good to be involved with a club, and I think a lot of the clubs. I know one of the clubs here does a great job with their activities and getting hams involved as well too. So if you're able to participate, please do so. I think you'll get a lot out of this experience. It's a great thing. Mike, thank you for stopping by. And again, pass on, kudos to all who are involved with Winter Field Day and your organization. Thank you for that. Thank you for the dedication you guys have for this, and really making this event the way it is. It's a great thing, and it's a great thing for ham radio. Please keep up the good work and pass on kudos to everybody out there. UTV and ham, thank you. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to spring as well too. It's been a little bit too wintry down here in Florida as well. So thanks everyone for stopping by. And as always, guys, remember, it's a great day to make a QSO. 7 3s, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening.